guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have part 2 of my favorite thrillers of all time. So a couple months ago I made a video all about some of my favorite thrillers of all time. I'll leave it linked up above and down below, and you guys have been asking me to film a part 2. So finally I'm sitting down to do that today. I have curated not as many books as the first video, so definitely go check that video out first. But I have compiled a list of some more thrillers that I absolutely love and adore, and I'm going to share those with you today. But before we get started, I just want to quickly thank Dossier for collaborating with me on today's video. If you guys don't know, I love Dossier. I worked with them before. Dossier is a fragrance company. They reproduce classic high-end luxury scents for a fraction of the price by cutting the brand tax, but still maintaining that amazing quality that you get with a high-end fragrance. Perfumes are super affordable. They start at a $29 price point compared to high-end fragrances, which are anywhere between like $50 and $280 sometimes. So I do have 2 scents to show you, and the first one is Ambery Cherry. So they all come in this little box with a card, and this one has top notes of cherry, almond, and cinnamon, and it's inspired by Tom Ford's Lost Cherry perfume. I absolutely love this one. This is the one that I've been wearing every single day. It lasts on my skin all day. It smells amazing and is very comparable to Tom Ford. And then this one is Woody Sandalwood. So this one has top notes of violet leaves and cardamom. It has some musk and sandalwood in there, and it's inspired by Le Labo's Santal 33. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I'm not sure, but it is a very popular scent. It smells so good and like clean but musky at the same time. I don't know. I love this one as well. They do offer free returns and exchanges, so if for some reason you don't like a perfume or a scent, you can return it within 30 days, no questions asked, and they're always offering really great bulk deals on their website. If you buy 3 bottles of perfume on their website, it's 25% off plus free shipping, and I have a coupon for an extra 5% off, which will be listed in the description box down below if you want to check that out. And they are constantly adding new scents to their collection, and they also take recommendations. So if you have a recommendation for a scent that you're looking for, you can let them know, and they also take that into consideration. Thank you so much, Dossier, for collaborating with me on today's video, and let's go ahead and jump into some thriller recommendations. I have a good chunk that I've pulled from my shelves that I thought about, and I was like, you know what, I really loved this book. So all of these are solid 4 or 5-star thrillers for me, and let's just jump right in. So first, I'm going to start with Blake Crouch. I absolutely love him. He writes sci-fi thrillers. This one, Dark Matter, I read so long ago, and I'm still absolutely obsessed with this book to this day. So this is about a man who is knocked unconscious, and when he wakes up, he's surrounded by people in hazmat suits. He has no idea where he is, and all he knows is he's trying to get back to his family. You know, he has a wife and children, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember, but he has a wife and children that he's trying to get back to, but he doesn't know where he is, and people are just acting very, very strange. Suddenly, everyone knows him as this like really famous scientist, and he's like, I'm not a scientist, I'm just a college professor, or whatever he is in his real life. And so he's like, what the hell is going on? So yeah, he's kind of trapped in this other world. Really, really good one. Definitely recommend. I'm not a huge sci-fi person. Absolutely love this one. Which brings me to my next recommendation, which is another Blake Crouch book. This is Recursion. This one's a little more science-y than the other one. Like, this one was a little harder to understand, but still not like super crazy or anything like that. So this one, we're following the perspective of this cop who is discovering that like a whole bunch of people in the town are unaliving themselves because they find out that there's this thing called false memory syndrome going around, and people are being haunted by memories and lives that they never experienced, and it literally drives them to the point of unaliving themselves. And then there's also this woman who's this really famous scientist, and she is trying to discover basically a cure for Alzheimer's and try to find a way where people preserve their memories and never lose their memories. So the two of them end up crossing paths and things go crazy, all different directions. If you like parallel universes and timelines, check out this one. Next is My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. This is about a husband and wife who are serial killers. I don't really want to say much else. The thing that keeps their marriage alive is the fact that both of them are serial killers. One does the trapping, sometimes the other one does the killings, and it's twisty, it's wild. They look like the normal average couple, they have children, like everyone thinks that they're normal and no one suspects that they are doing these things. That's all I gotta say. It was a very entertaining read. Next is a series, it's a trilogy, but I have The Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, this trilogy here. So in this one, this is a YA thriller. There's 3 books, it's done, that's it. There's just 3 books, so don't worry, I'm not recommending you a series of 10 books. But this is a YA thriller. It doesn't read super YA to me. It was entertaining and I liked the characters. This one we are following Pip, and she is writing her school paper and she is basically investigating what happened to this girl who was murdered, and they think, you know, they thought they knew who committed the murder and closed the case, but Pip doesn't think that's what actually happened. So she is investigating what actually happened and is writing her paper on it, and this is all mixed media. There's interviews, there's little text messages, journal entries, different things, so many different things. It's just so cool. This entire book is so engaging and really sucks you in and keeps you guessing. And then I also recommend the other 2 as well. Just read all 3. You're going to absolutely fall in love with Pip, and it was just fun. It was a very fun, well done trilogy. The 3rd one, there's some weird things going on with that one, but I still liked it and I would recommend all 3. Also, each one follows a different mystery, so you're getting the answers after the first book, and then the second book, so on and so forth, they follow something different, like there's a different plot going on in each book. So it's not like you have to read all 3 books to figure out what's going on with the first one. So I feel like that's important also. Like there's no little cliffhangers, like they're all wrapped up. Next is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. This is about a woman who just got out of a psychiatric hospital, and she is a journalist, and she basically gets called back to her hometown to investigate the murders of these 2 preteen girls. But she doesn't want to go back to her hometown because her family is insane. So she is basically trying to figure out who murdered these 2 girls from her hometown while navigating how crazy her family is. So it's just messed up family dynamics mixed with a murder mystery. This is so good, and also the show on HBO is also fantastic. Next, I have The Girl in 6E by A.R. Torre. This is about a cam girl who is afraid to leave her apartment because she is a serial killer, and she knows if she leaves her apartment, she is going to go on a murder spree. So basically she locks herself up. She never ever leaves the apartment, and she is a cam girl for a living. This is so fun. I don't know, I absolutely love this book. It pushes boundaries. Just absolutely adored this main character. It is a trilogy, so I plan on reading the 2nd and 3rd books really soon. I still haven't read those, but I definitely recommend the first book. One day she may or may not leave the apartment, and we get to find out what happens. And I have Blood Sugar by Sasha Rothschild. This is a very slow-paced, character-driven almost like a character study. It's not like a super fast-paced, twisty thriller. Check out the other books if you want that. This one is more character-driven, slow-paced, but we're following this therapist who she has killed 3 people in the past. But now she's being accused of killing her husband, and she didn't kill her husband. So we are following her, and she's basically retelling the story to us about these other 3 people that she has murdered and what actually happened to her husband. So it's nothing super, super twisty and crazy, like I said, but I just absolutely adored this main character, and it's very much a good for her type book. If that's what you're looking for, pick this one up. And if you love like character driven books, this one is for you. This was just so, I don't know, it was different from every other thriller that I've read, and I just loved following this main character and hearing her stories and what happened with all these murders. Oh, it was so good. This writing absolutely sucked me in, and I cannot wait to read more from this author. Hopefully she comes out with some more books because I absolutely adored this. Next, I have my queen, Jennifer Hillier. I absolutely love Jennifer Hillier, one of my all-time favorite thriller authors. This is Things We Do in the Dark. So this one is about this woman named Paris, and her husband is this celebrity, and he was found dead, and the police came and saw her holding a straight razor covered in blood, so they arrest her and accuse her of murdering her rich celebrity husband, boyfriend, husband. And 25 years earlier, there was a woman named Ruby who is known as like the Ice Queen killer or something, the Ice Queen. She was convicted of a similar murder, and she knows who Paris really is. And she basically starts like blackmailing her, and she's like, I know who you really are. I'm going to expose all of your secrets. So now Paris must confess to the truth of kind of what actually happened throughout her life. Am I making any sense? I'm trying to be vague, and I have memory issues, so hopefully that makes sense. But this was so good, and this is another kind of slower paced thriller. It's not like super, super twisty. Some of the twists might be a little predictable. I just absolutely love Jennifer Hillier's writing. This just completely sucked me in. Like, I don't mind if books are a little bit slower when the writing is so fantastic, which hers is. So I honestly recommend anything by her. I absolutely love all her books. Another author that I love dearly is Lisa Jewell. This is the new Lisa Jewell that comes out in August 8th. So this is None of This Is True. This is so much fun. This is another slower paced book with fantastic writing. But Miss Lisa Jewell this time wrote about these 2 women. So we're following this woman, Josie. She goes out to dinner with her husband for her 45th birthday, and she sees this other woman, Alex, who's also celebrating her 45th birthday. And she's like, hey, it's me, your birthday twin. Hi, we have the same birthday. And they strike up a friendship, and she discovers that Alex has her own podcast. So she's like, hey, can you do a podcast episode with me? I'm kind of trying to like reinvent myself a little bit. Like my husband and I, like I might get a divorce. My husband and I aren't getting along, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, okay, we can work on a podcast together. And we start slowly learning about Josie's life and what's been going on with her and her family. And there's just something not quite right about this Josie chick. And we're also getting little snippets of, they turned the podcast into a Netflix docuseries. So at the end of the chapters, you're getting these little snippets of this like Netflix docuseries kind of mixed media thrown in there. And it was just so great and suspenseful. Highly, highly recommend you check this one out. You can't go wrong with Miss Lisa Jewell, okay? I have An Unwanted Guest by Sherry LaPena. I think you pronounce her name LaPena. That's how they said it on an audiobook. But this one is a snowy, isolated thriller. We are following this group of people. It's just a classic whodunit. We're following this group of people in a hotel room. They get snowed in not in a hotel room, in an actual hotel, but they get snowed in and people start being murdered and picked off one by one, and you're just trying to figure out who did it. This is just like the classic whodunit trope, but I loved it. It was fast-paced and it was just something that got me out of a slump, and I absolutely loved it at the time. You know, she just keeps you guessing and gets you out of a slump, and I love that about her writing. You know, it's not like a masterpiece. The motive isn't like the craziest thing. Sometimes the motive is just kind of like, okay, really? But it was just so much fun. Highly recommend. Absolutely loved it. And then the last recommendation that I have is also another Sherry LaPena, Not a Happy Family. This one, similar vibe. It's another classic whodunit. This one is about a family, and so there are 3 children and their parents are super wealthy. They have an Easter dinner together, and after the Easter dinner, both of their parents are found murdered. You're trying to figure out who in this family or in this house murdered the parents and why. What is the motive? So this was another just easy, bingeable read. Nothing super crazy going on, but it got me out of a slump. I finished this in 1 or 2 days, and I just had to keep reading. I had to know what was going on, and I highly recommend, if you're just looking for a fast-paced, easy read, to check out this one. And Sherry LaPena is just, I love her. I love her. So yeah, that is it. Like I said, not as many books as my last thriller recommendation video, so definitely go check that one out. It is my most popular video on my entire channel. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If there are any specific tropes that you love that you want me to film a video on, like, is it, you know, a whodunit or serial killers or whatever, if there's like a specific thriller trope that you absolutely love that you want me to make recommendation videos just based on those tropes, let me know, because some of you guys have been asking me to film videos like that, but I don't know, like, what tropes do people want to see? I have no idea. But yeah, leave that in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out Dossier. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!